Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over a very entertaining email that was sent from one of my older subscribers. It's from a guy. He is 61 years old. He is single. However, in the past, he was married for like 15 years, and that marriage obviously ended very badly. He also had a crazy girlfriend shortly after that, and because of those experiences, he's been single ever since. And nobody can blame him given the environment that we're in today. However, he wrote in to me about a month ago, which shows it takes me a while to get to these stories, that he recently met a gal that he has a good time spending time with, hanging out, all that. And he wanted to know my opinion based on his description of her, the experiences with her, if thought maybe it's time that he can move forward, maybe into a relationship, all that. And he was asking my opinion on that. That was part one of the story. I'm doing two parts here today. So I won't stretch this out to another video. However, because he wrote me a month ago, and it takes me sometimes a month to get back to certain stories here, he wrote me yesterday with part two. And in part two, he then reveals what he learned about her. And I'm not going to reveal it here, but let me tell you, again, not a whole lot shocks me, but this is one that definitely, surprised me a little bit. What he discovers about her past, and all that. And I'm going over this story, these two parts here, to perfectly demonstrate, guys, why I say it's so important. You must take your time, for your relationship, guys. You must take your time getting to know your girl. And a lot of gals want to rush guys into relationships and things like that. Guys, you have no rush, really. If you're a guy that's happy on your own, happy with your life, not rushing anything, take your time. Because eventually, the skeletons will come out of the closet. You'll find out who they really are. And if you get too serious with a gal, relationship, move in with her, or even marriage, her problems will become your problems. And you must be aware of that. And you'll see right here in this story. And how gals that will often look for white knights, it isn't just the young gals in their 20s that, got pregnant by Chatter Tyrone and need a baby daddy, need a pay pig, if you will, to take care of her and some other dude's child. Gals will be looking for white knight saviors way later in life, 50s and 60s. And you're going to see that here. And how a guy cannot be that white knight, because it will only bring turmoil and misery to their life. Because these gals that have a history of being with guys that are low lies, and they claim they're abusive, whether it's factual or not, they're only going to be with you for a while for your resources and what you can provide, and eventually they'll get bored with you and seek out the drama from somebody else, or bring a whole lot of drama into your life. And these gals do not change, and this story will show you, after decades of life, they're still the same. They like drama, attracted to low lives, etc. So a very good learning experience from this story. All right. He says here, hi SSM. I love your channel as it helps to educate all guys, and just like me, I'm 61 years old and have been single for several years. I've used that time to work on myself, working on my weaknesses, especially with women. One of the main things I've learned here is to talk with other men so we can all learn and improve. Amen. This is why I do what I do. And what's great is so many guys write in telling me how watching my show has really helped them improve different aspects of their lives, spot the red flags, all that. So this is great. I agree. For the past several years, I've held women at a distance after a badly failed marriage of 15 years, then an even worse bad girlfriend right after getting divorced. And he says, smack away. Yeah, smack. Bad divorce, bad marriage, and immediately in with another girl right afterwards. Guys, you got bad breakups or divorces, you need to heal for a while. Work on you before you can consider another relationship. I would see women with the understanding that we're only together for fun, and if they're looking for a long-term investment, I ain't it. So they knew up front what I will do and what I won't, and I stuck to that. Good. Exactly. You did actually what the bad boys do. The bad boys make it clear, I'm not looking for a relationship, nothing serious. And a lot of times, to the surprise of many guys, the women are like, okay. Either, okay, challenge accepted, I'll get you to change your mind, or, okay, you'll be the guy I have fun with, because you're not going to try to lock me down. After the psycho girlfriend, I decided that was enough failure for a lifetime, and it was time to learn and rebuild myself, which I have done and continue to do so. No man should ever stop improving himself every day. That's a valuable lesson I've learned the hard way. Yes, exactly. Gentlemen, he's 61, and he's making it clear right here. No man should ever stop improving himself every day. I did a video a few days ago on the Ask SSM. Young guy asked me, do you ever stop the self-improvement? And I said, no, it never stops for lots of reasons. And one is life's a lot more enjoyable when you have new goals, new mountains to climb. Of course, you take a day off once a week to relax. You got to have a holy day of rest, if you will. The Bible got it right, that one holy day of rest. But otherwise, there's always something new to achieve and learn and all that. Now for what I'd like your unbiased advice on. Around the first of the year, a woman that I've known for the past 30 years came back into my life. She and I have worked together in the past, saw each other at work, and had general conversations. She has always been easy to talk to, owns her mistakes, and has grown a lot in the past 5 years after a personal tragedy in her life. Well, wait till you find out, guys, what the personal tragedy in her life is. That tragedy opened her eyes to reality, and it caused her to start a journey similar to mine, and we spent the last few months getting to know each other really for the first time. She helps me with my houses. I have several rental properties, and we talk a lot while we work and then relax in my house for a while afterwards. She comes over 2 to 3 times a week, and recently we started going out for a simple meal at night about once a week, with no expectations by either, as we've both been badly burned, and we've agreed to take it really slow, as the more talk and opening up before we even as much kiss even one time. Okay, you're taking it slow. She's taking it slow. Now, upon this part of the story, okay, maybe she's been burned before in relationships. Who knows what her mystery background is? But the point is, he's taking his time. And that's what guys have to do. There's no fucking rush. The only affection is between us is a hug when she leaves. Well, if that doesn't bother you, then fine, so be it. Now we are getting to the point that we'd like to go on a day trip, and this is something we almost did a couple months ago. But decided not to, as we both know what will happen if we get out of town together, especially where we are going. It's a place we both love and haven't seen in a long time, and this will be the first time going there together. So in other words, you know you're going to go to this place, wherever that may be. You're probably going to Hawaii or something, or the Caribbean. Sharing a room, you know you're going to get romantic. So you want to make sure this is the right move before you cross that barrier with her. We did go to a show recently that was a short trip out of town, ate supper, came home, and said goodbye and said goodnight. We both talked the next day. Both had a great time and thought this was a solid progress. And now we are talking about taking that day trip. So we both, okay, day trip. You're not going to Hawaii. My bad. Day trip. So we both know that we're about to take another step towards a possible relationship. We have very similar upbringings, backgrounds, and even life stories, and that's what has made us both aware to proceed with caution and to take it really slow. Okay, so it sounds like she's on board with his take things slow plan. So this, as you can see, sounds so far so good. It's an actual comfort to know I can take my time to get to know her, how she reacts to situations, how she thinks, if she can control her emotions enough to not interfere, and so on. What else should I be aware of with her? I'm trying to cover my bases as best I can, but having another man that doesn't have a bias will be very helpful, as I'm trying to start my first successful relationship ever. In other words, because his marriage went to hell in a handbasket. And other girlfriends went to hell in a handbasket. This may sound silly to some after a lifetime of no instructions from parents and then learning how much I didn't know. I love to hear from others so I can keep my eyes wide open and not get caught up with emotions over reason. So that was the end of his first thing he wrote me a month ago. And like I said, guys, this shows you, if you write into me, give me time, because it's going to take me, I get so many emails every day. So that was his first part, and now we're going to get on to his second part. So to respond to the first part, even though I know what's going to happen in the second part, I would say that he was doing the right thing, taking his time, hanging out, getting to know her, no rush, and it sounded like she was in the same ballpark. However, if you're about to embark in the relationship part, you still need to do some digging on her. You know, as time has gone on, I'm sure many of you guys are aware of this after listening to the countless stories I've done on all 3 channels. It's literally at the point nowadays in the 2020s that you need to do a background check on who you're getting involved with, particularly if you're going to get married. The same way that, you know, you're moving into you apply for a loan, or moving into renting an apartment, or applying for a mortgage. They're going to check your credit score, amongst many other things. You need to check her credit score. Or the way if you're moving into a area like a housing association and they want to do background checks on who you are, you got to do background checks on the girls you get involved with because you just never know. So, yes, you were doing a good job taking your time, and I would have said, based on that, okay, if you are truly ready to do this day trip where you think you're going to get romantic, fine, after you do all your homework on her, and only then. Now, we're going to do part 2, his update, as he did his homework on her, and you're going to see what he finds out and demonstrates why guys need to take their time and do their homework. He says, hello, SSM. I have an update to my story, and the bottom is, patience pays dividends. I can't make it any more clear than that. Here's what happened. The lady friend I kept talking to and getting to know each other more personally and on a deeper level of understanding. I did notice something she said and decided to see what was there, and that's where I got the reality check. We talked about past relationships, what happened, what failed, etc., and I noticed something in common with all her relationships had in common. All the men she got deeply involved with were scumbags. There you go. She's attracted to a-holes, low lives, guys that bring drama and turmoil in her life. And guess who she's with now? A guy that isn't a scumbag, a guy that has his life together. So, sounds like she's looking for her second chance with the White Knight. Not just bad boys, but actual scumbags. And her husband, who was offed a few years ago, you heard that right, I'm not saying the word he chose to use, but he was offed, was the biggest scumbag of all. He was, wait for it guys, a drug mule for a cartel. No effing joke. Even worse, she rode with him as he transported, acted like she didn't have a clue, but she kept giving details of their runs. The woman you're seeing here, previous career, was with her husband running illegal substances back and forth from one country to another, no doubt, or whatever, state to state. Her husband was offed. Very much a good idea you took your time with her to get serious with her and dig into her past. Imagine, let's just say, her previous employer had a beef with her, like she owed them some money or something, and that showed up on your doorstep. They were a truck driving team together. There was no damn way she did not know that they were involved in that trade. Now, I'm the guy that believes that if you hang out with scumbags, it's because you are a scumbag, because decent people do not tolerate scumbags in their lives, and I'm one of them. Exactly. Birds of a feather flock together. That, of course, led me to her current situation, and that's where patience really paid off. She opened up to me and said that I may not want her around anymore once she tells me her big secret. So the fact that she spent a career with her husband in that trade, transporting illegal substances, and the fact that her husband was offed by the previous employers wasn't the big secret? Well, here we go. It ain't that big a damn... if that ain't a big damn red flag, nothing is, but I showed no reaction, so she wouldn't climb up and not tell me. It turns out that she uses crystal meth, but she doesn't have a problem with it. Horse shit. If she doesn't have a problem with it, then why use that garbage at all? So she uses her own product, or product from her past. I don't know how you didn't notice, because I believe when people use that shit, that their teeth fall out or turn brown or whatever the hell it is, amongst many other things. Imagine she brought that over to your house. Maybe that was in her purse, or was left over at your house. I don't know. Or in your car or your truck or something like that. The problems that could bring into your life. She explained that it calms her and helps her focus, and that was the only ingredient away from being Adderall. I'm sure, yeah, she could take other things to calm her down. If that was the case, why not get legal prescription? Nope, she'd rather do the illegal, dangerous, gambling her life away type of thing. Not me. She said she hoped this wouldn't be a problem with us going forward, and I said it's not a problem for me because we are not going forward, and I needed her to leave my house right now. Good for you, bro. Nip it in the bud right away. Good freaking Lord. Well, to me, I think her previous career and what happened to her husband is a bigger thing than the meth. I mean, the meth's awful and everything like that, but again, I don't know how you couldn't tell. I mean, again, back to the teeth thing and breath and other signs. He says, tears and sob stories started about how I was her one chance at a good man, blah, blah, blah. And I said I'm not her one chance, and she needs to take care of herself without depending on someone, and now can leave my house before I call the cops. Right there. He's her one chance at a good man. Now, he says he's 61, so I'm guessing probably she's in her 50s or something like that. But the point is, the one chance, you, honey, have made your life. You repeatedly hung out with lowlives and got into that trade. And she wants him to be the white knight to come and save her. Not happening. But guess what, guys? There are a lot of guys out there that would buy her sob story, think, I'm going to fix her. I'm going to save her from her past, maybe get her off the drugs, and imagine the shitstorm she'd bring into their life. She left without incident, and I sat there thinking I dodged a nuclear bomb. My fantasy of being with her died immediately. I hate to see her turn out like this, but she made her choices and I made mine. Right. Nobody forced her, to my knowledge, to live that life and to be doing the drugs and all that. And you don't have to take care of her. It's not your job to be her savior. I won't cross that line. No woman is worth compromising my core principles. I wished her well and hope she gets the help she needs, but it ain't me. There you go. She can fix herself. Thing is, there'll be some sucker out there that will no doubt take her in, and she'll bring all sorts of problems and drama into their life, but not you. I think writing you previously and continuing to watch your channel helped me remain patient and keep learning who she really is. And I think men need to help each other out so we can see past the fantasy of a certain woman. I doubt you'll use this story. Really? This is a great story. But if nothing else, keep preaching on the value of taking your time to get to know someone before getting involved with them. If she doesn't let you see who she really is, walk. There's nothing to be gained by tying yourself to someone you don't really know. It's a bad gamble and a garbage payoff. And for me, I'm fine. I've got my 2 dogs, close friends, and a sister who has my back in all things. Tomorrow will bring a new and better opportunities. There you go, man. You're used to being on your own, and obviously you're happy at that, you know? You got your 2 dogs, which are your children, and those dogs will love you and be loyal to you till you drop dead. You said you have a sister who is you're close with, close friends, your bros. There you go. You know, and I'm sure because you said you're a guy in self-improvement, there's always new things you like to see, learn, experience. Okay. And go from there, but that's great that you can just cut her off like that. A lot of guys can't do that. They cannot be alone. He ends it saying, and congratulations on moving to Florida. Welcome to the South. I live in one of the coastal states, and it's always great to have another good man down here. Keep rocking, friend. Well, thank you, brother. I am very excited to move to Florida. I mentioned in a video the other day, guys, that I left down to Florida on the 4th of July. Last minute, I saw a perfect house I wanted. Got on a plane, went down there, saw the house on July 5th. Loved it, made an offer on Thursday, July 6th, and by the time I was at the airport to come home, they accepted the offer, and I got it. This is a fantastic place, amazing house, in-ground pool. It's a fucking huge house, 4 bedrooms because master bedroom for me, 1 for a studio I'm setting up. Yes, I'm setting up a studio. 1 for an office, and I got a cottage on the property for when I have guests. They can be away from the main house, and it's fantastic. Love it. Can't wait. Had the inspection yesterday. Everything went through great because the previous owner, or soon-to-be previous owner, really took care of the place. Things are going well. I have a question for you Southern boys. How long until I officially become a Southerner? Do I need to live in Florida for a year, have the house, the license, start saying y'all properly? I'd like to know about that. But very much looking forward to coming. I'm moving sometime in September. Still working out the dates. But anyhow, guys, great story here. And again, don't be that white knight. And they look for white knights even way later in life. So you take your time getting to know your girl, digging around her past, asking, and remember, I will give credit where credit is due. At least she told him those things that would scare the bejesus out of a lot of guys. At least she said that about, her past. A lot. In my opinion, she should have mentioned that earlier, and one could say she was lying by omission, but at least when he asked, she did tell him that stuff. But he did the right thing. Whoosh. See ya, not happening. But you got to do your homework, you guys. You got to dig, and don't rush into relationships. And if you see things about her past, move on. Do not try to be the savior, because it will only bring drama and turmoil into your life. You don't need that. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you've got a great story like to share, definitely email me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it. I definitely will when I get the chance. Again, it took me a month to get to this guy's story, so just send them in. If they're good, I will get to them eventually. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.